Greetings. This is Justin Allen with the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. I'm sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take a measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Jessica, who is a family nurse practitioner. Currently, she is not working as she is in a transitionary period in her life. She was working at a weight loss clinic, but found out she was being taken advantage of, so she left that practice. Currently, she's starting her own practice, but is dealing with some non-compete issues. She's needing assistance on navigating this and what services she is offering in her practice. Hey, Jessica, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm good.
I'm doing good. Thanks for hopping on here. So tell us about kind of what's going on. Bring us up to speed.
Well, my plan at this point is I've already got a location, a collaborating physician, set up accounts with pharmacies and labs, and I plan to open November 1 for bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, TRT, thyroid, and I plan to offer semaglutide. I am advertising it as a reduction of risk for cardiovascular issues, diabetes, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, whatnot, so that we can improve health. Very, very difficult walking on eggshells to avoid the issues that could be a possible lawsuit to shut me down due to the wording that was in my non-compete.
So tell us a little bit about kind of what happened then. You're starting your own practice, you want to offer HRT and these kinds of services and whatnot, you want to start your own business, but kind of
Yes.
walk us through kind of about what happened. Why are you in the situation you're in?
Well, I found out that the physician that I was collaborating with and working for, he kind of threw me into a practice without any onboarding, didn't really say much about, he's just, here you go. I found out a little bit later that it was actually in bankruptcy. There was 2 liens against the office. Everything was just going terribly. And he had taken money out of his 401k to hire me and hopefully bring this back up. In doing so, 2 months after I started, COVID, so everything went to hell in a handbasket. But during that time, I did all of the things that I felt that needed to be done and created those relationships with the patients and everything to do a business. And I did take that from a failing business. And when I left, it was making $1.6 million a year. In my contract, I was supposed to be receiving production bonuses, and I was being told that we weren't making any money. So after a while, I just got tired of it.
Well, yeah.
And I thought, I did this. He hasn't helped me at all. So why don't I just do it on my own? And I thought I'll go into something that's very similar that will help with weight loss because that is my niche. That is my specialty. And that's a little bit of where I am nervous because I'm not as proficient in HRT, TRT. I am still learning on that, but you give me weight loss and I'm there.
Sure.
I got you.
Right. So I guess what are the parameters in the non-compete that are concerning you?
So the thing that is in here, the wording is I cannot do any kind of physician monitored or non-physician supervised weight loss, weight management, nutritional or health or wellness products or services, practice management services, and any other products or services that are the same or similar for 2 years or 25
Oh,
miles.
oh my God. Like, okay, so what does that mean? Health?
Right,
What the hell is
right.
health?
Is
Like,
I mean, as family nurse practitioner, if you look it up, it is a provider for preventative and wellness. So it's difficult because I want to say, as most people have said, they can't hold that up in court, but it is a franchise and it has been held up in court. So I do have to be very careful. I know that semaglutide was just starting, it came out in June of last year, and I used it and I was very successful with it, but it was not part of the program. So I don't feel as though that is a conflict of interest there, but I'm afraid.
well, I would be too.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, non-competes are rarely ever held up. But I mean, if this is some multi-million-dollar conglomerate or something,
Yes,
if they want to screw you over, they're going to screw you over.
right.
And so is it worth going through the headache of all this?
Hmm.
Ooh, man, I don't know. That's a sticky situation.
Yes.
Okay, so this 25-mile thing. I mean, why not just open it 25 miles away? What's the big deal?
I already have a location.
Have you signed the lease
I
for it?
have signed a lease. It's a 2-year
Oh,
lease. And so that is where I was kind of doing the analysis paralysis, thinking, okay, what should I do? And I needed to jump. And the location came, it was perfect for me. Everything's included. It's a great price. The collaborating physician came the next day. It was like, this is someone telling me it's time. I need to go forward.
yeah. Ooh, I don't know. You might have jumped in that a little too soon.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, sticky situation. Okay, so, risk benefit analysis here. I mean, let's just look at this objectively. The benefit is that, you got this great location, you know how to do this, you're probably gonna make a lot of money.
Hmm.
The risk though is that, these people are gonna go after you. They're going to, no
Right.
matter how you word this.
It is, yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if I wouldn't use their program, I
So
mean, the very fact of telling someone to eat a certain diet or do a certain exercise plan is going to,
well, yeah, and then the words health, wellness, management, what the hell is that stuff?
no,
Okay.
it's so vague. It's so
Right.
vague.
Right. So look at the risk here. You're going to be dragged into court. We're pretty much certain of that. Do you want to be spending money on lawyers and wasting your time on
No,
court fees
I
and dealing with
really
all
don't.
that? Come
No.
on. Why would you want to? Right. So the risk is that you're going to have to deal with all that. Potentially they sue you or something and win. Who knows? The risks here, a lot of them are just unknown risks because we really don't know what's going to happen. Right.
Right.
And so you got to look at this and say, okay, I signed a lease. How much is this a month?
1,200 for a
1,200.
1,500 square foot with 3 exam rooms. They just redid it. It's beautiful. And
Okay.
all utilities included and Wi-Fi.
Okay. So you signed that for 2 years, $1,200 a month. You said.
Hmm.
All right. So $24,000 is what it's going to cost you for 2 years. Twenty-four
Yes.
thousand. You'll spend more of that in lawyer fees. Just look at this objectively. You're going to spend more than that on lawyer fees.
Yes.
Okay. You can bet your ass on it. Commercial real estate in your town, in your area. Is it pretty hot right now? I mean, is it hard to find something?
It was very hard to find. I have been looking for about 6 months.
Okay. So the good news is that if you get out of the lease, they're going to relist it. It'll be out of your hands in a few months. Someone else will take it.
Okay.
So you're going to be out a few $1,000. And you don't have to worry about this nonsense. You open up 25 miles away because you have 18 more months here on this non-compete.
Right. But my thought was if I did like the HRT and TRT beforehand, get established, and then add that later.
You could do that, yes, but wellness, health, these are the things that concern me.
Well, where am I going to be able to work if I have to
That's what
not?
I'm saying. This non-compete sounds like you can't work. I mean, that's what this non-compete sounds like. I mean, health, wellness, management.
Yes.
Like, what does this stuff mean?
Right.
Health or similar services?
Yes.
I
Which
mean,
is a lot of things. And I
so
do know that since I have not been employed there, that they have added new things to their services and their products that because of the fact that my collaborating physician tried to put me on the board, because I had fabulous ideas and those ideas are now being implemented.
I don't know. I mean, are you gonna be able to sleep at night? I wouldn't be able to. Just waiting and knowing that they know what you're doing,
Mhm.
sending you a cease and desist order after you got the whole thing furnished. You're in business for a few months.
Right.
That's what I'm saying here. Like, is it honestly worth the risk just because you have a good spot? Listen, this is the thing about real estate. Okay. Good deals are just right around the corner. Another one's going to happen. So, like, don't worry about it. Don't get FOMO on it, fear of missing out. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Don't get FOMO over this stuff. My opinion, the opinion I'm going to give you is that I wouldn't take the risk. Not with what you're telling me about these people going after you. They're wanting blood. They've won cases in the past. Get
Now, I
aggressive.
can say that all those cases were people who had a franchise, they stopped paying the franchise fee, and then they continued doing the things.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's
So I
that's
feel like that's a little different than what
that's
I'm doing.
different. Yeah, that's different. Okay. Have you consulted with a lawyer yet about this?
I have. And I was
Okay.
told to not promote weight loss. I can do other things. So if it's a side effect, weight loss is a side effect. I mean, you can't control side effects. You just educate your patient.
Right. Okay. If they have a hemoglobin A1C of 5.7, you're not treating obesity. You're treating their prediabetes, right?
Right.
Yeah. You're not treating their obesity. You're treating their hyperlipidemia, right?
Yes, it's just that eggshell thing. I have to be very careful on
Okay.
what I say.
So if the lawyers are confident that you're fine, they read those and they feel pretty confident about it, then I'd say you're probably going to be okay. I mean, always take the advice of a lawyer. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. So, I mean, I just see things objectively and, in the real world. So,
Right. And that's what, just reading it myself, I'm like, what the?
right.
I mean, that is my job description. How can you tell me I can't do that? It's what I do.
So I would look up your state in terms of non-competes.
It
Most
is.
state, most states, they're not held up, but in your state, you said that it
It
is.
is. Yes, it is definitely.
Okay. So did you just talk to one lawyer?
I did.
Was it a contract lawyer? Like what kind of lawyer was it?
It was for employment.
So employment, yeah, okay.
Yes.
I would find a contract lawyer and get a second opinion.
Okay.
If you can get 2 or 3 opinions from a couple lawyers, spend your 3 or 400 bucks an hour or whatever, I would much rather spend 500 to $1,000 on a couple lawyers' opinions and go into this confidently versus, not.
Right. Especially, 3 weeks away. I'm ready.
Well, if you got to push it out a couple of weeks, push it out, okay?
Okay.
Okay, don't get FOMO here, okay? Like a
Right.
couple more weeks is not going to change the world. It's not going to make a
So,
difference.
my question to you is this. I also have my APRN in Wyoming, which is FPA. So, would I be able to do telemedicine and not worry about it at all since
Yeah,
that
it's not
kind
25
of
mile. It's not 25 miles from you, so don't worry about it. If you can get out of that
okay.
25-mile radius, there's nothing you need to worry about.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, 25 miles from you. I mean, is there a good sized city, a good sized town? I mean, without competition that you could go into and kill it?
It puts me right in the middle of the competition. The position that I found with this location puts me north of town, which gives me all of this area. All of the competition, and there's a lot, are south of town. So it just seemed so perfect.
To be on the north side of town?
Yes, because everybody always would complain about, if I wanted to do this or I wanted to do this, all the Botox is down here, all of this is down here, all the women's health is down here. It's all down south. It's-
Right. But what I'm saying is though, is like, could you go somewhere with no competition?
the problem is that they are nationwide. There's only one in my state.
Okay, but
So
25 miles is the non-compete.
yeah, but
That's
2
what I'm
years and 2 years
Or 20, it's 2 years or
and
25 miles. That doesn't
and
make
25.
that doesn't make any sense. Like it's either or.
That's
Like
what it says.
that,
And
that
as you know, I was a new grad when I was given
whoa,
this.
whoa, 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 wait. If it says 2 years
Mhm.
and 25 miles, that sounds like that and 25 miles is indefinite. It should say or. Is there not a time limit on the
Oh,
25
you
miles?
are. It says within 25 miles of the site or within 25 miles of any other site from the
Uh-huh.
franchise at the site and for 2 years after.
That sounds permanent. That's what it sounds like to me. It should be or.
Yeah.
You need a contract lawyer to review this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was a brand new grad when I was offered this job before I even graduated. And of course, I swooped it up. It was fantastic. You're going to have me come into this business and you're going to let me run it. Sweet.
Right.
Yeah, I'll sign anything you want me to sign. And not ever once thinking, why would I ever have to worry about this? This is stupid. No, no.
Right.
I was so
Yeah.
naive where not realizing how much money I was bringing in for the work that I was doing, but not being compensated.
Okay, well, listen, 2 years and 25 miles, like 2 years nationwide? You can't do anything for 2 years?
2 years and well, within the 25 miles of any of the franchise businesses, and there's a lot. But like I said, there's only one in my state. So I only have to worry about that one. But if I were to move to another state, I'm assuming the way I read it is in the 2 years following my resignation, I cannot be within 25 miles of any of these franchises.
Right. That's my understanding as well. But that and or is confusing.
Yeah.
And anyways, I would have a contract lawyer review that. If you can open up 25 miles away, don't have to worry about the whole 2 mile thing. That's what I would do.
Okay.
I think that's the safest bet.
Yeah.
Or unless you can get opinions from 2 or 3 other contract lawyers and they say, don't worry about this.
Okay.
But you're still going to have to deal with all the legal bullshit that's going to be involved with it.
I know. And I know. And the thing that sucks is that my location is 19 miles away. Mm,
Give me a break. So
so
why
close.
can't you just open 6 more miles away?
I know. I know.
Like, why? Like, why are you so stuck on this position? Like,
It was
when,
just,
when you could be 6 more miles away and not have to worry about it.
yes.
Like,
Yes.
come on. That's worth it. It's my opinion. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Getting out of a lease isn't a big deal. Someone else would come around and swoop that up in a couple months and you're out. Okay. It's not a big
Okay.
deal. Okay. So don't worry about that.
Okay.
So you might want to maybe just go take a look at some other locations and get out of that 25-mile radius.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I would do. That would be the safest bet for you after you confirm with, a contract attorney. That's what I
Now,
would
if I talk to a couple of contract lawyers and they say, oh, it's not an issue, don't worry about it. You're not competing. It's not a competitive business, blah, blah.
do.
I'm good to
As
know where I am.
correct.
Okay.
That's what they tell you after they review that. And they say, yeah, you shouldn't have a problem, offering, men's health, HRT, aesthetics, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, do it.
Okay.
Knock yourself out. Get it done.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I would do. Yeah. Oh, God, what a sticky situation.
I know.
State that I'm in, non-competes they're not held up. So like the hospital system that I was at, I started a men's health clinic like a couple miles from the urgent care. They came up to me and they were like, your non-compete says you can't start another clinic or anything like that, within 5 miles or 10 miles, whatever the hell it is. I don't even remember. And I was like, non-competes aren't held up in the state. And they were like, yes, we know that. So then what the hell are you trying to tell me? Get out of
Right.
here. And they
Just
shut their
trying to
mouth.
bully you around.
Right,
Yeah.
they're just trying to bully me around. And I never heard a peep from them ever again. So anyways, they'll live and learn, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll never do that again. I can tell you that.
Yeah. All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all Elite Nurse Practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and the other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode. Outside of that non-compete, is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean,
I do have some questions since
Okay,
I'm going
sure.
to be doing some TRT. I had some questions regarding T injections for office use. I know that you can get those. I'm having a hard time finding out if I can actually do that in my state. I've looked at the Board of Pharmacy, I've looked at the Board of Medicine, and the wording appears as though I can, but it doesn't say specifically that I can.
what's the wording say?
It says a licensed healthcare provider.
Then you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure since it's a controlled substance, I didn't want to. I'm getting ready to get the TDDD so that, and of course, it's asking what are the controlled substances that you're going to be having in the office. So I wanted to make sure.
Testosterone. That's it.
Yes. Just
Right.
wanted to make sure that that was
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you sound fine. A healthcare provider. That's exactly what you are. So don't worry about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I
Uh,
hate that they make it so licensed healthcare provider, practice person, whatever, just say NP or say PA or both.
right. I know. I know. No, you should be fine. I don't think I'd worry about that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's only testosterone. No one cares. You're not giving out methadone.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's testosterone. So you should be fine. The compounding pharmacy as well wouldn't even ship it to you if it was outside of your scope. I mean, they pretty much know all those laws. So you should be okay. You just
Okay.
get that from, one of the big 503B compounding
Right.
pharmacies. Yep.
Right. So is there any kind of like an emergency kit or something that I should have in the office just in case?
Well, anytime you're, administering a medication or anything at your practice, I think it's a good idea to have some basic stuff. I mean, the chances of someone having an anaphylactic reaction to testosterone, I mean, would be
That would be my
super.
luck.
Yeah, yeah. Right. I mean, it would be super rare. It'd have to be from one of the additives to it, not the actual testosterone. So, like, could it happen? Sure. Anything's possible. So, yeah. So, just basic allergic, reaction kind of stuff. I am Benadryl, I am dexamethasone, and I have an EpiPen.
Okay.
That's
All
pretty much
right.
all you need.
Is there somewhere to find a list of the protocols, procedures that need to be for like quality assurance and things like that we need to have in each office? In speaking with my collaborative, I was like, I'm going to get these procedures to you because I know you have to sign off on whatnot. But I keep thinking, what are all of the policies and procedures? I know the ones that are for, record keeping, hand washing, how to, administer an injection, things like that. But is there any place where I can just find all of the things for an actual clinic?
I mean, there's like policies and procedure manuals that you can buy, that basically offer policies and procedures for a clinic. One reason why I don't offer that through Elite MP is because I don't think it's that important.
Okay.
I think that it's an important thing to have if you want to grow and scale your business and whatnot,
Right.
if you're going to have employees working for you. But if it's like a one man show or just, maybe one employee, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Okay.
And the thing about a policies and procedures manual or standard operating procedure is that these things are developed through experience. So, it takes a couple years to truly build out a standard operating procedure, policies procedure manual based off how you want to run your practice. It's not black and white.
Right.
Like
Right.
most of these policy procedures, policies manuals and whatnot, you're going to purchase are for like primary care practice that accepts insurance. That's not what you're doing.
Right. Right.
So I think it's just something you just kind of write over time, over the next year or so.
Okay.
No one's going to be coming in your practice and being like, "I want to see your standard operating procedure." No one's going to do that. Like,
Right. Well, I'm hoping, with the inspection for the TTDD, then if there was something I needed to have, they would let me know. I have read all of the guidelines that they have, so I've been trying to make sure I get those done, but I didn't know if there was anything else in particular. Just because of this non-compete, I'm trying to make sure that legally I'm covered in every aspect, which is what is causing the analysis paralysis.
right. Okay. So with that said, what's something that someone's going to want to snoop around and ask for? Like, what's something that you can get in trouble for? How to schedule an appointment? That doesn't mean a damn thing. No one
Right.
cares,
Right.
right? Like, no one cares about this stuff. What they
Right.
care about are controlled substances. How are
Right.
you dealing with that in your office?
Okay.
Things that you could get in trouble over are what you probably need to have something written down about.
Okay.
And these things are common sense. You've been practicing, you know this
Right.
stuff already. Just write it
Right.
down on a piece of paper.
And
Okay.
those
It
are the
does,
things that I already do have. I just was worried of everything else now.
you should be fine. Don't worry
I
about it.
know. So the one thing I do not have yet is an EMR. I do have an account with Stripe, but
Mhm.
I've been worried about the testosterone weight loss. I've been reading a lot on the Facebook group
Yeah.
that sometimes things are not going through. So what would be a good one that would be for this type of practice that would help me grow? Because I intend to be very successful.
Right. No, you probably will be. You know what you're doing. So just use our payment processor on the preferred vendor list on the Elite MP website. So go to the Elite MP website, elitemp.com, and click on Elite MP GPO at the top. Just use a preferred vendor there. Like this is what they do.
Okay.
Yeah. And they charge extremely reasonable rates. So
Okay.
just use them. In terms of the payment processor integrating into your EMR, it's not completely necessary. I personally like having a payment processor outside of my EMR. I like to keep it separate because what if you don't like the EMR anymore, or if you don't like the payment
Oh,
processor
yeah.
anymore? Yeah, it's easier to switch out either one instead of switching out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And honestly, the reporting software on the back end of a payment processor is generally superior over what the EMR can do.
Okay.
Yeah. So just use the preferred vendor for payment processing. Just use them. And then in terms of the EMR goes, you just use whatever EMR you want, or hell, you can do paper charts if you want.
Do you have a recommendation for an EMR?
Are you going to be doing any kind of e-prescribing, or are you going to be using pretty much compounding
I'm
pharmacies?
pretty much going to be doing the compounding, but I would like to be able to do e-prescribing in case I have a patient that, has something going on that they would like to have an antibiotic called in or,
Right. Got a
something like
sinus
that.
infection or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can use OptiMantra. I mean, they're a preferred vendor for us. I mean, they kind of do these little niche practices. So
Okay.
you could use them if you want. You could use Simple Practice. That's really, really super simple EMR. I like it, but it doesn't have e-prescribing software. So you have to use a separate e-prescribing app. So if you want to just do it all in house, you can just do OptiMantra and be done with it.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty easy to navigate and get used to, but there's a little bit of a learning curve to it. But once you figure it out, it's not a big deal. It's
Okay.
just like with any EMR.
Right. You just have to learn how to use it and go from
Ex-
there.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, if you're not going to be opening up for another month or two, then you got plenty of time to play around with this stuff. Just get it set up.
So,
Yeah.
since I'm not planning to open, I'm trying to take my time to make sure I've got everything ready to go. I haven't even gone into the office because I don't want to get caught up in the I'm decorating. I just want to get everything ready to go. When should I start advertising? Because again, we're going to that testosterone thing where it's difficult to count on Facebook, social media.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to advertise a lot of this stuff on social media, unfortunately. You have to be kind of just very generic in how you word things. New men's health clinic open, now seeing patients. That's about all you're going to be able to do.
Okay.
Yeah, just very, very bland things. You can't point fingers to patients. There's too many people out there that get their feelings hurt. You can't tell
Right.
someone that they're overweight. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Absolutely.
be
And I'm
very
staying
careful.
away from that anyway. We don't want to talk about weight.
Right, exactly. You're not doing that anyways.
No,
So
absolutely.
when to advertise 1 to 2 weeks before you open up. Anything before that's a waste of your time and money, because generally people call or they want to go to your website. They want to schedule now,
Correct.
and if they don't have that ability, if no one's going to be answering the phone for 2 weeks, then they're just going to go to the guy next door. People are generally impulsive. So, advertise about a week before you're going to be open and make sure someone's there to answer the phone.
Okay.
In terms of the marketing aspects go, I mean, sure, you can blast social media. Google search ads generally work pretty well for this kind of a thing. But I'd get out there, some gyms, some restaurants, maybe put a billboard up or something. You could do that.
I've been looking into billboards. Have you heard of Blip?
No.
It is $10 a day and it gets about 527 blips a day on average. So it's all over the United States, but there's a couple of them that are in my city that are really close to where my office is.
So it's a digital
It's a
billboard.
digital billboard
Okay,
and it
right.
just blips from here to there. And I thought 10 seconds. Yeah,
That's all you need.
that's it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if it's affordable, go ahead and try it.
Okay.
That's the thing about marketing. You're not going to know it works until you just start throwing some stuff out there and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, you're kind of surprised what works and what doesn't. Like what you thought was going to work could be a total failure, and what you thought wasn't going to work could be a huge success. That's marketing. That's just part of business. It's
Yes.
experimenting and seeing what happens. Any other questions?
Not right now, but of course, as soon as we get done with this, I'll have like 8.
Well, if you're going to do men's health testosterone, take the course, okay?
I
I mean,
have the course. I actually have
okay.
10 of your courses.
Wow, okay. All right, one of my
Yes,
biggest fans. How are you?
yes.
Yeah.
I have spent the last 6 months throwing myself into education and I've been taking a lot of classes here and through other places. So I am just absorbing information like a sponge and
Yeah.
I have been very impressed with your courses. So this is what has made me feel like I can do it.
Right. Yeah, of course you can. Like, I mean, it's simpler than you think, right?
Right.
It's not that complicated. Like, how much time have you actually put into like getting the business created? Is it a lot shorter than you
Um,
thought it was going to take?
it's difficult to answer that just because I've been doing nothing. I've been doing things for my education, for my peace of mind, for the things going through that I went through, resigning from my position. But then when I actually said, okay, I've got to do something, I can't do this anymore. It has been a very short amount of time and it's all coming together. As soon as I wrote the list and said, I got to do this, 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 and this, it's been done.
Right?
It's been 2 weeks now and I'm nearly done with my to-do list.
Isn't it
So,
amazing how quick you can knock this stuff out?
yes. And the
Right.
things that I was really worried about, like the CLIA waiver and, applying for the TTDD, all of those things, I thought, oh, I don't even know what this means. What's this mean? And it's everything, filling out the forms. What is this? Why am I overthinking this? It's not hard. Just do it and submit it. I got it within 24 hours.
Right. Like all this unnecessary anxiety
Right.
over little tiny
Spent 2
things.
weeks worried about it.
Right, 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 right. Exactly. So just action leads to more action, and that's exactly what you're
Yes.
doing,
And
So
I'm starting to snowball. I'm ready to go. I'm getting that momentum. It was just that whole I'm nervous. More
right.
so because this is not my specialty. And I do have a suggestion for you.
Sure.
You should come up with a preceptorship for nurse practitioners that want to have a little bit of help before they get started.
You mean in terms of like physically, like a physical preceptorship or
Physical, like, set people up who want I need someone who does this. I'd like to watch somebody do it for a couple of days to make sure that I
oh, I
have
got you.
in my head everything is good and I can ask questions. It's difficult when you learn something from a book or from a course to just jump right into it and feel as though you're an expert.
I like that idea. So kind of like a preceptor network,
Yeah,
so to speak. Maybe just find some other NPs that are
absolutely.
just more than willing to help.
And it doesn't
Yeah,
even have to be something that's paid, but somebody who's willing to barter services. Like I know about weight loss and I can help you. I can't do it, but I can help you.
sure. Right.
So if you want to help me with hormone replacement, we can do that. But if you decide to make that a business that costs money, I'd love to go in with you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that idea. I think having a little preceptor network would be kind of a cool thing. I don't think it'd be that
Yeah.
hard to set up either. Um, Let me put some thought into it and kind of see how I could set something up like that and,
Okay.
make it worth people's time, really. I mean, the thing is, like having someone follow me around, it can slow you down.
Absolutely.
So you have to just really set it up in a way that it's beneficial
Yes,
for everyone.
it's
Yeah.
beneficial for both, and it wouldn't be
Right.
like, for me, I know it wouldn't be like a 6-week thing, I'm talking a day.
A
I would
day.
like to just come and follow you in your office to see what you're seeing, see how you're doing it, what your workflow is, so I feel more comfortable with what I'm assuming my workflow will be,
I got it.
and
Right.
I'm willing to travel to where you are, so
Right.
that
Right.
would
Right.
it would be on the nurse-ling, so to speak.
Yeah. And maybe just like $500 or something, nothing crazy,
Yeah,
just a few
no.
$100s or something,
And that
not,
would be, to me, money well spent because I
oh
feel
yeah.
more confident in what I'm doing.
Yeah, I like that idea. Let me put some thought into it and just kind of see how I could get something like that set up.
Okay.
So, I like that. I think that'd be something that I can make for a project for next year. Cool. Well, do you have any other questions?
I do not. I think I'm good now.
Awesome. Well, I like to end the episodes with you asking me a question. Do you have any questions for me?
What thing would you change if you could go back to when you first started?
I think I've answered this before, but like the answer kind of changes sometimes because it just like ultimately depends on like
Well,
where
right,
I'm
the
at in
longer that
life.
you
And
are.
like if I could go back and change anything, I think that I would have started the business a lot sooner than I did. I think I would have stopped working for others a lot earlier. Like I
Okay.
feel like I wasted, 4 or 5 years of my life just hustling and being miserable and working my ass off for nothing. And if I feel like that I could have started all my practices a lot sooner. I feel like I could have probably started this within my first year,
Yeah.
being a nurse practitioner. So I think that if I could change anything, I would have done that. And I would have started investing at a lot earlier of an age.
Okay.
Like,
O-
yeah, I really kicked myself in the foot not really investing my money in my 20s. I really didn't start truly investing and saving until I was really maybe late 20s, early 30s. So
Yeah.
yeah, I wish I would have done that sooner. What
I was a I was a late investor as well. I'm much older than you, but it wasn't 10 years ago when I first started investing. And so I didn't know anything about it and it was intimidating.
Right. And you're young too, and you're like, I don't really care about that.
Right.
That's 40 years from now. I don't care, right.
Right.
You're fairly a newer grad, right? So
Yes.
good for you. You're getting started a lot sooner, and this will pay off for you a lot faster too.
Good.
So
Good.
yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, and I think that this was a great episode, and hopefully some people learn to really take a good look at that contract.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so
yeah.
much. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. You take care of yourself.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Bye. All right, I hope everyone enjoyed the conversation with Jessica. Pretty sticky situation there, really. I think a big thing here is just, make sure you take a really good look at your non-competes with an employer. In most states, non-competes aren't enforceable, okay, but in some states they are. So just be very cautious, especially as a new grad. You have no clue what you're doing and whatnot. And so if you have an ultimate goal of possibly starting your own practice one day, then definitely take a good look at that non-compete, okay? But the good news is, though, is that they're hardly enforceable, okay? So, in her situation, pretty unique. There's just so many working parts with that I feel like that as long as she is not providing any weight loss services and the lawyers say that she's okay, as long as she's not providing weight loss, then she should be okay. And, focusing on hormone replacement therapy and some additional accessory services, it's just as profitable, if not more profitable than weight loss. Hope everyone enjoyed this episode. You guys take care. Bye. Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2022 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.